All right, time for a quick detour onto the test server. Currently, there are changes being trialed for Unicorn Pack, but also there's one for Puppy and then some stuff for Turtle Pack as well. But the thing I'm interested in is the new unit in Unicorn Pack. Actually, there are two new units. I don't think I use one of them. Actually, there's three. There was another one in the shop there. Three new units. Two are on tier 1, but the one I care about is tier 5, and it is the Amalgamation. So we've got Abomination and Amalgamation in the same pack. I'm sure that's not going to be a problem for anyone in the future. But yeah, the Jersey Devil is gone, which I think is fair enough. Although Jersey Devil is really not a huge issue in Unicorn itself. It's more of a customs problem. I think moving it to customs definitely makes it easier to balance. Because, you know, from a Unicorn perspective, it probably needed some kind of a buff, but that would have been a bit of a disaster from a customs point of view. So I've been playing a lot of this test version and almost always trying to set up for Amalgamation to try and get an idea of how useful it is. So the way it works, instead of having to sell level 3 units like you did with Jersey Devil, the buffs it gives are based on how many level 3s you have on your team. So it's kind of a bit more forgiving in that sense, but the amount of buffs it gives out when you actually get it set up is obviously not going to be as good as Jersey Devil. And here I rewatched this battle. I was double checking. The health potion has been changed. So health potion actually gives the stats to the backmost pet now. I'm not entirely sure why that is. I think it's much better just to be able to give the pet that's holding the potion extra health. But now you can stack a bunch of health potions and give all of those stats to the unit at the back. Love potion has been changed as well, although I didn't bother taking it there. It lets you transform the unit in front to a copy of the pet that was holding the potion. So it's a little bit convoluted, but there are some extremely strong combos with that. Honestly, I'm not sure that's one that will make it to the live server. But something that hasn't changed is Murmel. All the level up stuff is pretty much the same apart from Octopocto. And even that, the change isn't that big. So despite this being the test server, you are going to see a lot of people running the usual level up teams. Now, there's another change here where we've got Mandrake on the opposing team, and actually it gives Dazed to the Toad at the back. Now, normally it would only give Dazed to faint pets, but now it affects any pet. As we get our level up on the Griffin, that was something else that I was doing deliberately. A lot of runs trying to make sure I got level 2 Griffin before I sold it, so that when we find our level 3 unit for the Amalgamation to work, it's going to be a bit more useful than a tier 2. So yeah, Octopocto plus Murmel again on that team. And I'm also using Sneaky Egg quite a lot, and the main reason for that is that when Sneaky Egg faints, it's going to summon another level 3 unit if we have it at level 3 already, and we're very close at this point. So when the cracked egg appears, that means we're guaranteed to have at least one level 3 unit on the team for the Amalgamation's ability to go off. A little bit of lag here. This is obviously being played in the browser version of the game, so sometimes things go a bit wrong. And what am I going to do here? There's a gingerbread in shop, definitely should be taking that. Okay, we're just going to forget about Unicorn. Okay, I pass up the gingerbread. Maybe I'm not thinking that I'm going to take Skeleton Dog much further as well. Although actually, I think Skeleton Dog is quite a good one for Amalgamation as well, because you can look for Mushroom with Cornucopia. So Cornucopia has also been changed to give you 3 choices instead of just 2. That gives you a much better chance of finding the actual perks that you care about. And if you can have Skeleton Dog with Mushroom, I think that's a really good option for guaranteeing that the summoned unit is a level 3 as well. Okay, so I take the magic beans. So clearly I don't actually want to keep Skeleton Dog this time. It must have been a different run where I had the level 3 with Mushroom. But Magic Beans is also different. It's kind of been adjusted to make sure that you can't abuse Seagull plus Golden Egg for buy-sell. But it's also now a tier 5. And I think the compensation is that the golden egg does higher damage before attack instead now. So we are on turn 11. We still haven't seen an amalgamation. You can see there what happened. The skeleton dog gained the golden egg, and it gained cell value instead of the golden egg itself actually having the value. So kind of an elegant solution there, I think. Now, Abomination was in the shop there. We're looking for Amalgamation, not Abomination. But Abomination has actually been changed to work with any pet, which is very, very interesting and really does open up quite a lot of possibilities for varied teams. So we're going to use the Octopocto on the Cuddle Toad, and we get Drop Bear, which is going to work perfectly with our Tatsel Worm. We just need to find the Amalgamation, and we do get the free level up on the Sneaky Egg via Quetzalcoatl. So level 3 Trout team here, don't see that many of them, and I think we are going to be fine. They have changed some of the animations as well. It's a little bit strange getting used to them. The summons pop out slightly differently, and also the pets kind of slide around instead of all just moving up at once. It's kind of like a ripple effect as they move forwards. So yeah, I'm freezing up Easter Egg. So there are actually reduced options in terms of perks for summoning teams. I say reduced. Yggdrasil Fruit has been moved to tier 6, which means you can still get it, but you have to use Cornucopia to get it. Actually here we face a Nurikabe team, and Nurikabe was in the previous test server version, but has been moved out of the pack. However, I guess the pool hadn't been cleared of all the teams, so it is a little bit annoying when you lose or draw to one of those teams. But yeah, here we find the Amalgamation. So yeah, I was talking about the perks. Basically, you're looking for Easter Egg the vast majority of the time, because not only is it going to create a summon for the Amalgamation to buff, but it's going to be a Monty, which is going to do double damage. And I think here, yeah, because we've got the Worm of Sand, we are going to get the buffs onto the Monty. Okay, we're not. We're going to lose the perk. This was a major problem I was having in a lot of runs, is that the perk was just getting removed every time. Clearly you can play around that if you're using, pets like Nessie and so on, that have the built-in summon, but I was trying to mix it up a bit and get more summons into the team without actually having the default pets. So look at this team. It's turn 14, they've got triple Team Spirit, but they just don't have any level ups yet, and so we luckily get away with a win there. While I was talking, we actually used another Octopocto on the Worm of Sand and got a level 3 Amalgamation. So here you can see Yggdrasil Fruit is now tier 6. The Nordic Goats have bigger stats. I can't remember if we actually managed to summon any in this game or not. But I buy the perk there, I think not realizing that it actually doesn't work. So I thought that the Amalgamation's own level 3 would count, but it does not. So the summon on the 4th unit isn't going to work unless the summon itself is a level 3. And you can do that either with Nessie or with Chimera. I guess you can do it with Phoenix as well, but I think all the other summons in the pack are all going to be level 1. Of course you could play Sneaky Egg 4th as well, but since it always faints at the start of battle, the ordering doesn't really make any difference. You're always going to get the maximum amount of buffs from the Amalgamation. So we'll take the hot dog, and there you can see the 1x1 effect is back. I'm assuming that's a mistake. That was in a previous version of the game that got patched out, where each of the splash foods triggered separately. Here's another Nurikabe team. We actually hit the Nurikabe with the Tatzelworm Snipe. You can see with the double Amalgamation, we're giving a lot of stats to the Sneaky Egg. We just don't have many summons. And again, the Easter Egg on the Drop Bear gets removed by an ailment. So yeah, I'm not sure why I was about to use the chocolate there when I've got a Tatzelworm in the shop. But we actually get the second Amalgamation to level 3 via Gingerbread very quickly. So now the whole squad is level 3. So the buffs, the Sneaky Egg should be getting 50 health here, yep. So although it's not really a weight of summons team, you can definitely see the effect of the amalgamation working. Of course, we did get very lucky in this game to actually find 2 level 3s. One of them was via Octopocto. I think things would have gone very differently if we only had one round of summoning buffs. So we're changing the order, and I get double chocolate, which doesn't really do anything, but I think I might just freeze one, and then I could buy a different perk. But actually we roll into another amalgamation. So full level 3 squad, although I guess that's not atypical for turn 18, since we also have a tier 1 unit still. And we faced this mana team, which is kind of atypical. You don't see that many people gambling with rock, where you're going to get a random amount of mana onto your mana spenders. But here we actually see a pet that works really well with amalgamation, the Chimera, because the summoned units are all actually level 3 as well. Maybe I forgot to mention that one earlier. So there we go, an interesting new unit, and I think definitely a lot less toxic than Jersey Devil.